then it calls it relief. Then it pays millions of dollars to high-priced lawyers for frivolous and vexatious and highly politicized suits, and it calls it justice. It takes from those who have not and gives those that have too much, and it calls it government in the sunshine. Well, Madam Speaker, then they come and they put 15% VAT. 15% VAT hit you on your food, your clothing, your shelter, your doctor bills, your phone bills, your gym fees. Madam, okay, not doctor. I'm sorry, not doctor. But everything else, your entertainment, your happiness, Madam Speaker. The schools need chalk. The school need desks. They need toilet paper. They need chairs. Halberton Hospital need medicine. But the finance minister is satisfied. He's doing a wonderful job with hundreds of millions of additional taxes. He's squeezing out from those who cannot afford. Madam Speaker, it is true the hospital need medicine. They called me in Pelham, the headmaster, and asked me if I can donate 6 desks. They don't have desks at the beginning of the school year, so don't shake your head, Madam Speaker, it's a fact. But Madam Speaker...
How do you know what I shook my head at?
I don't know, Madam Speaker. When I said about desks, you shook your head. Madam Speaker, I just want to tell you that when we return to this Labour Party government, as the minister, the member for St. John City West said, we'll immediately abolish personal income tax, now responsible for taking $55 million from the working people of this country. We will transform the entire country into a duty-free port. We don't need no study, man. The whole country is going to be duty-free. And the study is the living testimony of St. Martin. How successful. We don't need no study. We don't need no study. No, he's saying to do a study. We are announcing that we are emphatically going to do it. We are going to make this country duty-free. No more duties. To be a duty-free port like St. Martin. And you stole it from us. And then we're going to introduce a system for period adjustment of ABST to cushion the effects of rising commodity prices. And then, Madam Speaker, I'm going to need more time. They're disturbing me. Then we're going to give a review of all the operations of APUA. Listen to this. And we are going to have meaningful reductions in electricity and water. And there is no question that the people of this country have suffered too long in terms of high rates of electricity and water. And we are not going to exclude escalating utility rates from the relief being doled out, a little nonsensical relief. We are going to establish the new minister of APU over here, man. We are going to wipe off all the rates for every single homeowner in this country that owe electricity and water. Every single homeowner, bring your bills in, they're going to be wiped off. All. Read my lips, my brother. All electricity and water bills, all arrears, Madam Speaker, will be wiped off. Homeowners, private homeowners. Then we're going to increase the minimum wage for unskilled, semi-skilled, and skilled workers, as per the recommendations of the Minimum Wage Committee. And we are going to, this is important, Madam Speaker, we're going to complete the unfinished business of the ALP that we started many years ago in establishing a severance pay regime that will include a severance pay fund. Listen, man, listen and learn. A severance pay regime that will include, Madam Speaker, a severance pay fund act intended to ensure adequate mandatory termination benefits to employees who have served for certain minimum periods of time in the private sector. This is in the private sector. And whose termination is not for misconduct or illegal behavior. Madam Speaker, you have people that work in the private sector for 30, 40 years, give a whole lifetime of human service, and then the private sector will tell them, sorry. Man, I can give you examples. Alexis Joseph, who worked for Shaul for all his life, over 40 years. Alexis Joseph went home and got nothing. Come on. And then, Madam Speaker, listen to the great policies, and then you rebut them. You know, you're a lawyer. You can come better than me after, but give me the time. Then, Madam Speaker, 7, implement the Social Security retirement age for all private sector employees. But you don't want to listen to our policies, Mr. Minister. Give me the time to listen to the policies. These are our creative policies.
You're going good. Go on. Nobody there. Go ahead. You're going good.
Then our relief, Madam Speaker, will also include, it will include relief, Madam Speaker, from the threats of crime and violence and specific cost measures, not abstract measures about we will do this and we will do that for the police. You mean me and the Prime Minister? Oh yes. But now we're eating it all by Shower Gallery alone. Now, Madam Speaker, in closing, and this is very serious, so it would be remiss of me not to take issue with the naked political harassment that's being meted out to former Prime Minister Lester Bird, and I crave your indulgence in the House for a little extra time. The injustice that have been meted out to Prime Minister Lester Bird and myself under the guise of legal action. As you know, we are among a number of defendants, Madam Speaker, in the IHI lawsuit, in which government is seeking to recover monies it claimed were misappropriated in a loan payment arrangement with Bruce Rappaport. This is completely untrue, Madam Speaker, and the government has absolutely, let me speak please, the government has absolutely no evidence to substantiate its outrageous accusations. As we know, Madam Speaker, Bruce Rappaport is the owner of Western Oil Company, 75% of the shares, and was a significant provider and financial contributor to the Antigua Labour Party over nearly 2 decades. During that period, Madam Speaker, he also made financial contributions to the UPP. The same member for St. John's Rural West, Baldwin Spencer, the late Tim Hector, and the late Donald Halstead, traveled to New York and signed an agreement with Bruce Rappaport to get election monies in 1999. As an international businessman with a diversified investment portfolio, Madam Speaker, Rappaport is in a position to make those contributions from any one of his entities, whether it be onshore, offshore, any one of his companies at any time. So the case makes much about a discrepancy in the monthly amount charged by Rappaport for the settlement of the debt and the actual amount that he was required to pay. This discrepancy, Madam Speaker, was discovered not by them. It was discovered by Keith Hurst and the technicians then in the Ministry of Finance, by the government's financial oversight mechanism, with strong encouragement, support, and written intervention by Lester Bird, who wrote to Rappaport. But I don't have the time, but I'll share the letters with you, Madam Speaker, where he wrote to Rappaport and he questioned the monthly payments. And Rappaport wrote back and gave an explanation. So don't behave like if nothing was done. Look at the letters here. 21st of September 1999, from Lester Bird to Matthew Stevenson. Bruce Rappaport's response, November the 3rd, 1999. And I'll just read this last little piece here, where Lester Bird said, as advised His Excellency Mr. Bruce Rappaport by Mr. Hurst, this loan for Antigua Public Utilities must reflect our payment on their books. The auditors must confirm these payments and must get the answers from IHI, as we still show them as our creditors. Similarly, the IMF has recently done an Article 4 evaluation and is seeking the documentation from IHI, showing the terms and conditions of the reschedulement. As Prime Minister, I must be in a position to justify all financial decisions on this loan. Hence, I need urgent, acceptable responses and or adjustments of the repayment. The full text of the letter I will share with you. Then Rappaport sent his response, Madam Speaker.
Copies of that available to the House.
Sure, definitely, Madam Speaker. I brought them for you. All, both. Rappaport's response, no hanky-panky here. Rappaport's response spoke about his commissions on the 2 previous loans, Foster Wheel and Credit Suisse. It spoke about adjustments for the currency fluctuations in the loans that he previously rescheduled and said that the government was owing him for those. The explanations are here. Time does not permit me. Madam Speaker, in respect of this IHI matter, the Honourable Attorney General stood in this House on Tuesday and he performed his version of the UPP's election cry, "Where the money gone?" He knows where the money went, Madam Speaker, because he's aware of the memo dated September the 10th, 1997.